My name is Wolfgang Doering. I'm CEO at the business at ELIX Polymers. ELIX was founded as chemical manufacturer of plastic resins in 1975 by Bayer. More than 35 years and several ownership changes, the Spanish plant was carved out of the global styrenics business in 2012 and sold to a private equity firm, Sun Capital Partners, Boca Raton, Florida. ELIX was moved from a purely manufacturing site to a standalone business. ELIX employs in Tarragona, including our sales teams all over the world, around 250 people. We are selling our mainly customized plastic resins to around 350 customers in more than 43 countries globally. More than 90% of our production is sold out of Spain. We are concentrating our efforts on businesses in the automotive, healthcare and consumer industries. ELIX works in a highly competitive market with high levels of customized services and fast execution times. ELIX is better, faster and more competitive. The positive development of ELIX has shown that the decision to put the customer at the center of our daily work was absolutely the right decision. We are growing fast with the customers that require tailor-made solutions and non-standard services. In this aspect, ELIX is clearly a benchmark for the industry in Europe. The second major part of the ELIX success story are our highly motivated people. We have chosen the right people, we have the right mix of experienced managers and highly qualified, engaged young professionals that add value for our customers. I enjoy to see at ELIX the ability of our teams to run self-initiated continuous improvements. Seeing people working in small or larger cross-functional teams on sophisticated solutions to serve our customers better makes me proud. We have created a culture at ELIX that allows our people to grow every single day. The steady and fast-changing market environment will request substantial changes in the future. In my opinion, the B2B model will change rapidly. With a new generation of decision makers, the so-called millennials, the decision-making process will change significantly. The market participants have to adapt to these new challenges fast, as they will influence more and more B2B requirements. People will expect from the business partners fast and efficient services at any time and location. In the future, there will be no difference between ordering privately from Amazon or Apple or from chemical suppliers during the working day. Consumer-driven and efficient processes will be needed to serve the needs of these customers. ELIX is working to make the next step in this fast-changing market environment.
Thanks for that, because of this is a little bit more. I'm a little bit more familiar with this. So this is what you see here. I think it's a really success story of a company which is now 5 years old. I think at the end, 5 years, I think it's 40 years history as a manufacturing site, 5 years as a standalone site. Today we're making roughly 220 million euros revenues. So I think we're selling 110,000 tons in the world. The thing is we have made a rapid change in 5 years to a standalone business. This is of course driven. This is driven by our shareholder. Our shareholder is a private equity, an American private equity, and this is, as you can see and as you know, this is mandatory. I think it's top line and bottom line growth is mandatory. Every day and everything what we are doing, every strategic decision that we take, it has only one question. Can you improve bottom line or can you improve top line? The rest is not relevant. So I think running this 5 years, and I think we are very successful in this. I think we have a growth of 25% in the last 5 years. I think we have 10 times more EBITDA than our starting year. I think we are very successful in this. I'm still missing something, and this is, let's say, why we are looking for a new project and why we are looking for, let's say, to building culture. The problem with this is we are very strong at ELIX in defining a strategy, defining a project, setting up KPIs, setting a process and manage it. The point is, this works, I think, for the last 5 years very well, perhaps for the first 20 or 30 people in the organization. The point, we have 250 people on the site, or also in the world, but the point is, I think it's, we are missing, let's say, contribution of 220. We have 30 persons that are very motivated and very, let's say, sophisticated in finding solutions, very intelligent, very motivated to work on the processes and be successful. What we're missing is, we need contribution from the rest, because I think there's a lot of value in this. There's a lot of value that we don't catch. And there was a good chance, let's say, I think, to meet Nuno with his project, because at the end of the day, what we want to do is, I think we want to move from an objective-driven organization to an organization that, let's say, coming not top down, then bottom up. We want to, let's say, create a culture that improves processes and improves the business from the bottom up. It's a little bit like whatever, to find a family, to find, let's say, everybody has his strengths, everybody has his attitude and has his, let's say, behavior, let's say, to find the right decisions. What we want is that everybody can express in his field his strengths, and based on this, I think we want to improve the processes. This is a difficult way, to be honest. I think it's we have changed 6 times our name. We have 5 times changed our owner. People are not really excited about, let's say, to contribute after 5 or whatever to, let's say, to a process or whatever. So we need, let's say, something else. And this is, let's say, where we have, let's say, try to deploy, and we are in the process at the moment to deploy, let's say, with DPM together, let's say, management by missions. So what we made is we made the workshops. I think we had the missions. I think we are good in strategy. I think we're good in KPIs. I think because this is our, let's say, this is our home turf. What we are missing is the contribution in culture. So what we have to do is, I think we have to go more on the emotional side. We need, let's say, these extra commitment of people. I don't want to have people from 8 to 5. What I need is, I think I need from the shop floor also, let's say, contribute in their very small piece that they can contribute, that they are motivated to give, let's say, an important step forward to the process. And I think this is what we try. We at the moment in the process, we have the mission, we have balanced scorecards. I think this is, let's say, the standard that we have. We have balanced scorecards with KPIs. We broke this down, let's say, through operations, through all our departments. But now we come to a level where we are struggling, because at the end we are now, let's say, now we come to shop floor. And shop floor is not a little bit, let's say, we have to convince them. We have to engage them. We find now, we have now an internal communication plan developed with Nuno, which works now for the next 6 months, if I'm right. The next 6 months, what we want to do is, I think we try to find, let's say, emotional commitment. We try, let's say, to engage people that they feel part of the game, part of the total. Which is, let's say, which give us, hopefully, at the end of the day, the right, let's say, contribution from the people. For me, this is important, because I think it's only top-down decisions. It's very, very difficult, let's say, to come to an end. I think there's a natural end of, let's say, of improvements. At the end of the day, what you need is, let's say, the extra commitment from all the people. And I think we have a lot of high sophisticated and high educated people there. And I think we want to contribute also, that they contribute to our mission. It's a very difficult way, to be honest, and I think it's everybody who think about to start this project. I can tell people it's difficult. It's like in the school, you have to follow with the slowest one. So you cannot say as CEO or operations director or whatever, I want to do this because I think this is right and I know it and I will do it. The point is, you have to follow that everybody's on the same boat, everybody's on the same speed. We have to take some rounds, unfortunately, but this is what it is. We have to make some rounds to be on hold and restart again and try to find that everybody has the same understanding of the strategy, of the mission, of the values that we have and the process we want to go. And I think this is important in this process for, let's say, for this management by missions. I think this is the most, for me, the most important thing. I think it's if you lose people on the way, I think at the end of the day, I think you can forget it. This is not, you have to find a way, let's say, whatever, to bring everybody to the same boat, that everybody step off and then whatever, let's say, go make the journey. If not, it will be very difficult. You cannot do this in a top-down decision. So I think this is our experience that we have in our company. Unfortunately, let's say, with so many ownership changes, people are not really so motivated, let's say, whatever, to follow now, let's say, a new path. But this is, let's say, where we are now. This is why for us it takes longer. This is what we have to say. This is not a short project. This is not a project you can do in 6 months or in 12 months. This you can forget. I think what you have to do is, I think you need a vision for 3 years or whatever, because you have to continue, you have to change, and what you have to do is, I think you have to measure the culture, which is important. I think we have made some culture reviews in the past, and we have seen that we have good results in the top or in the second line management, or perhaps also in the third. If you go to the bottom line, it's horrible. People don't understand what you're doing. People say we are totally out of scope. The loco Aleman or whatever. This is okay. I think if you are not capable, whatever, to transmit all the information, all the vision that you have, I think it's you have to go back and have to say, okay, I was too fast, or I don't know. We need other procedures, whatever, to achieve people. And I think this is exactly what we try with Nuno now, which is complicated. I have to say, it's a really complicated process. It's Spain. Eh? Spain is also a little bit a complicated. Sorry for this. It's a little bit. It's a very emotional. It's a very emotional country. So I think it's also let's say sometimes a little bit difficult. Let's say to bring everybody to the same line, because somebody jumps somewhere or whatever and have new ideas and nothing else and whatever. This is a very complicated project. This is not easy. This is not a. You have to make a lot of work. I think this is not. They will not work. Forget it. I think he will bring some presentation, but it doesn't work. The point is, I think you have to do the work, and I think this is important. And I think if you don't contribute there in the right way with all the team and everybody is on the same plate, you will fail. To be honest, this will not work. And I think and we are only now 1 year on the run. That means I think we have minimum 2 years to go. I think minimum to have a culture that that bring additional value to us. But I think it's a very beneficial way, to be honest. I think perhaps you should check it out. Thank you very much. Oh, gracias.